Hey, a brisk statement there from the president addressing the federal budget, saying it might be better to get a smaller federal budget passed before the March 1st deadline and perhaps delay the sequestration. That, of course, those deep defense spending cuts. We know that already declines in spending cuts led our economy into negative growth in the fourth quarter of last year. So further defense cuts, the president argues, will send us further into a contractionary mode. So again, the federal budget deficit, what to do about it, smaller package just to delay the inevitable sequestration cuts, which were supposed to be punitive in their inception. And so there's a camp of lawmakers who believe that this actually is spending cuts. These are spending cuts, and we need any kind of cuts we can to rein in these debts and deficits. And then there's the other camp that says they would be just that, punitive. And with that, I'd like to bring in Lou Dobbs for your take on the president's comments this morning.
Well, you would never know from what he just said that it was his refusal and that of Harry Reid to have a regular order in the Senate and a budget put forward. He has again violated the law of the land. It has not put forward a budget. This is all, you remember they used to say there's no drama Obama? He's all about drama. None of this would be necessary if he moved forward with a budget, regular order in the Senate, hearings were held, budgets and negotiations were carried out, just as Congresses have done over the course of our more than 200-year history. This is reaching absurd proportions, and it's very dangerous what the president is doing. This is a leadership vacuum that you are watching right now in Washington, D.C. It is deeply disturbing to watch it unfold.
Especially when you listen to the language that he's using and you realize that, you know, everyone at the table is speaking a completely different language. And when you're actually trying to make a deal with someone, you know, you're trying to buy a house or you're trying to buy a car, you're trying to make a deal, you try to understand what the other person is saying. If I give this, what do you give? That's the opposite of what we're seeing here completely.
This is, at best, sophistry, at worst, a glimpse of the apocalypse, because the markets, I believe, right now we're up a few points from when he actually began talking. We're going to see this market begin to yield to the sheer weight of the absurdities that are compounding in Washington, D.C. You cannot continue along this path. Both parties talk about sustainability. This is simply not sustainable, and the markets are going to react. There is too much riding on this for these leaders. I include the president, I include the Democrats and Republicans, to continue to act like adolescents with playthings in the Washington, D.C. sandbox. I mean, this is embarrassing for all of us to watch.
But it's nothing new. We've been down this road at least twice in the last year or two.
It's not new, and all the more outrageous because it isn't. This has been going on since 2009. You know, we're talking about 4 years since a budget was passed, and talking about sequestration. And as usual, what we're witnessing here is this administration and the Republican Party, as well as Democrats, trying to avoid the consequences of the decisions that they either make or don't make. It is a pitifully puerile game that's being played, whether it is this, whether it is foreign policy, or whether it is immigration, gun control. You would know that we have a 50-year low in murder in this country. The murder rate is at a 50-year low, and this president is hysterical about gun control. This is the kind of nonsense that's going on because there is no sounding board for this president called reality, because the national media isn't responding to it.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. Thank you.
It's great to be with you.
Great to have you, as always. We'll be watching tonight, 7 and 10 Eastern, of course. Lou Dobbs tonight. Former Congressional Budget Office Director Douglas Holtz-Eakin. We got those Congressional Budget Office figures on the budget and the economy and unemployment. He's excited about them?
Well, I am, because in 10 years we'll have an improved unemployment rate. It'll be back to the level of the Bush administration by 2023. It's scary, folks. It's really scary.